What's up with it? You watching the Blackballed TV? And yeah, we about to check out this video from the YouTube channel Culture Cover. And the title is Deion Sanders names the NFL owners who blackballed his son. Yeah, man, that's a fool with it. I ain't gonna lie, man, Deion Sanders definitely a super legend, man. I remember watching him when I was little, man. He definitely was a big deal out there on the field, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with his son and stuff. Maybe he feel like he got a little entitlement or something, or maybe I don't want to see him winning, man. Yeah, when it come down to the NFL, he definitely have royalty blood in the game. But yeah, maybe he been a little too arrogant or something, or maybe it's something deeper, man. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I haven't checked out the video. Don't completely know what they talking about, but let's check it out and see what they talking about.
Happy, man?
God is so good.
Hey, do you forgive the prankster?
God is so good, man.
Okay, man. Thanks very much, buddy. We need hard knocks, bro. We need hard knocks.
I don't feel like this happened, you know, for no reason. All this is of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things.
This morning, the NFL investigating this prank call to draft hopeful Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, picking up the phone Friday, thinking it was a coach inviting him to join the team.
Strictly for that reason.
Man, that's
but it wasn't a coach or anyone from an NFL team.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
Instead, it was these young men seen in this video circulating on social media.
That NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, I believe, allegedly, was also involved on this scandal to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son Shedeur.
Shedeur Sanders and
I ain't gonna lie, man. I have a point though, because I remember not too long ago, Deion did make a move that people didn't like. So with him not doing what other people wanted him to do, he could have picked up a few enemies along the way, for real though.
the NFL draft drama are still making headlines, and everyone is trying to get to the bottom of what actually happened on draft day. Some folks are convinced that NFL owners wanted to put Deion in check and conspired against his son. And it sounds like Deion feels the same. And now he's out here alleging that there's a behind-the-scenes conspiracy and that some NFL execs and owners used Shedeur to put Deion in his place. One NFL insider already leaked that some coaches and owners thought Shedeur was too entitled and arrogant in interviews, skipped the combine, and worst of all, they thought Deion himself was out here acting like he runs the league. And these white billionaire owners weren't about to let that slide. Keep in mind that there are currently no black majority owners of any NFL team. The NFL has 32 teams, and 31 of them have majority owners who are white. The only non-white majority owner is Pakistani-American Shahid Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And according to some analysts and fans, this is the main reason behind Shedeur's draft slide. These people are saying this is a textbook case of how black athletes, especially confident, outspoken ones, get punished for behavior that's celebrated in white athletes. Some public figures like Dr. Umar have alleged that the NFL owners wanted to humiliate both Sanders men and remind them who really runs the game.
I believe that all 32 NFL team owners and their executives and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe they all came together in a KK Ku Klux Klan type of clandestine meeting, and they decided, allegedly, I believe, that they were going to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son Shedeur Sanders on draft day.
But not everybody's buying the blackball angle. NFL legend Chris Carter came out and said there was absolutely no collusion here. And he actually accused Deion and Shedeur of making too much noise off the field and overplaying their hand.
Well, a number of things happened. The number one thing that didn't happen was there was not a collusion message with the NFL owners.
Okay, what? Okay, a lot of people think that.
Now, as for fans, they seem to be divided on this. Some are calling this out as straight up racism and pointing out that white players with worse attitudes get passes all the time. But others are saying Deion brought this on himself, talking wild, taking shots at the league, and treating Colorado like it's the NFL. Now they're like, you want to act like you run the show? Oh, okay, cool. But don't be surprised when the league humbles your kid. So was Shedeur really blackballed, or did Deion mess this up for his son by trying to dictate where he plays and acting like he runs the league? How exactly did Deion explain Shedeur's stunning draft fall? Let's break this down.
You have said that if the right team does not pick him, that you will intervene.
That's my son.
Things got really emotional at the Sanders household during the NFL draft, and Deion was not hiding how he felt. Primetime just sat there on the couch in Texas looking shocked. And when the Saints snatched up QB Tyler Show instead of Shedeur, all Deion could do was shake his head in disappointment.
All right, with the 40th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Tyler Show, quarterback. Louisville.
Switch it up.
Quarterback. There it is.
Wow.
One of the most intriguing prospects.
Wow.
He'll be 26 years old in September. He played parts of 7 seasons in college. Look at the reaction.
You had the phone, but who got that number?
From the
And it wasn't just Show.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. I definitely think they might have been using this situation to humble them for real, though. But then I ain't gonna lie, they possibly have been making too much noise off of the field. So they probably got like a little controversy around them. To be honest, the NFL definitely do kind of stay away from controversial stuff. You know what I mean?
5 quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Show, Jalen Milroe, and Dylan Gabriel, all went ahead of Shedeur, who most people had ranked as the second best QB in the draft. Then the Browns, who were rumored to be really into Shedeur, curved him again in the 3rd round and went with Dylan Gabriel instead, which is wild because Cleveland had been low-key thirsting. They interviewed him at the Combine, hit up his pro day at Colorado, and flew him in for a private dinner. And as Shedeur kept slipping past round after round, Deion was left speechless.
All right, y'all gotta stop. Yeah, this is
It's funny when he's lost for words.
I know what's going on. I like to have hope, and I like to trust God. This
ain't God.
This
the devil.
This the devil.
Hold on, Dad.
Shedeur was finally picked up in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns with the 144th overall pick. But the Browns had 6 chances to draft him before that, and they passed every single time. And for a lot of folks, it felt like a major snub. Like the Browns were saying, we'll take you, but only after we're done looking at everybody else. Shedeur's fall had a lot of people asking what the hell happened, especially after Shedeur was hyped up as one of the best QBs in this draft class. Many had him ranked 2nd overall behind only Caleb Williams, but somehow he slid past teams in their first 4 rounds. And the shock isn't just about his talent, but the fact that the NFL executives seemed to ignore him despite all the buzz around his name. And with his dad, Deion Sanders, being the flashy, outspoken figure he is, some folks are now wondering if personal bias or even attitude played a role in Shedeur's drop. In fact, sources with direct knowledge have already hinted that the NFL coaches and owners simply don't like Deion and his son's attitude. One anonymous NFL coach, whose team is picking in the top 7, revealed that the main issue was Shedeur coming off as brash and arrogant during a team interview. Meanwhile, NFL draft expert Todd McShay also claimed that Shedeur's attitude was the main issue and added that Shedeur's job interviews with the NFL teams did not go smoothly.
Shedeur already had, because of his size, because of his lack of arm strength, because of his lack of mobility, already had a pool that was smaller than other guys like Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe. He already had this shrunk pool, okay? But then he went and turned off some teams with his attitude. And then I told you recently, there's I have been told by 2 different sources that the back and forth with an install package with the New York Giants and Brian Daboll, so it did not go smoothly. And I don't need to give any more details. So now that's a 3rd organization that I'm aware of. I don't know if there are any others.
On the flip side,
So basically, they trying to say like he ain't qualified to be like a top tier quarterback or something. You know what I'm saying? Talk about he don't got the arm strength and stuff like that. Then if that's the case, why was he ranked so highly though? Kind of don't make sense, and it definitely do seem like they probably had it out for Deion. I don't think they like Deion flashiness. You know what I'm saying? I think Deion always been like a little flashy and stuff. You know what I mean? For real though.
NFL reporter Tom Pelissero hinted that Shedeur's dad and his handlers are responsible for Shedeur's fall because they were acting like they could dictate what clubs Shedeur was going to.
I spoke last night with one general manager who is considering taking Shedeur Sanders today. He pointed back all the way to March 2024 and something that Shedeur's father, Deion Sanders, said on a podcast talking about both Shedeur and Travis Hunter, saying that if they are drafted by a team that they don't want to go to, he's going to step in and pull an Eli, meaning force those players to not actually go to that team and try to get them traded. Throughout the pre-draft process, Shedeur Sanders very much proceeded as if he was dictating to clubs where he was going to go rather than how the draft works, which is the other way around. And there were a bunch of opportunities missed at the various checkpoints through that pre-draft process. Go all the way back to All-Star season.
But Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I definitely can see that as being like arrogant right there. You know what I mean? And I can see teams not even wanting to deal with that because they possibly think he don't even want to be on that team. And then they're going to have some little backlash and some back and forth. So some teams probably didn't even want to pit up with that. Gonna lie, I think they could have did some damage themselves by like talking too much for real though.
Sanders is now reportedly pushing this theory that the whole thing was a conspiracy to bring him and his son down. Sources are saying that Deion has been telling his inner circle about how NFL owners colluded to humble Shedeur because they couldn't stand the idea of a father-son duo stepping in and taking over the league. According to Deion, these owners saw Shedeur as a threat, not just because of his talent, because of the confidence and unapologetic attitude he and his dad bring. Meanwhile, Shedeur found himself wrapped up in another controversy on draft day when he was pranked by a fake phone call. It was later revealed that the prank was orchestrated by Jax Ulbrich, the son of Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. 21-year-old Jax called Shedeur pretending to be New Orleans Saints general manager Mickey Loomis. The caller claimed that the Saints would take Shedeur with their next pick before adding that he was going to have to wait a little bit longer. After the call ended, Shedeur looked unsure about what just happened. And while he handled it pretty well, you can imagine how frustrating that must have been on such a big day.
Now to the NFL draft drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders. Deion Sanders' son was the victim of a prank phone call that led him to believe that he was about to be drafted by the New Orleans Saints. ABC's Lara Spencer has more.
This morning, the NFL investigating this prank call to draft hopeful Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, picking up the phone Friday, thinking it was a coach inviting him to join the team.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
The caller abruptly hanging up.
What does that mean? You heard that?
He said you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Nobody got that number but coaches, strictly for that reason.
But it wasn't a coach or anyone from an NFL team.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
Instead, it was these young men seen in this video circulating on social media, impersonating New Orleans Saints general manager Mickey Loomis.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Man.
The Atlanta Falcons releasing a statement saying Jax Ulbrich, the 21-year-old son of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, found the number and was responsible for the call. That video showing Ulbrich and a friend making the call. Ulbrich apologizing to Shedeur on Instagram, writing, "I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish." And Sanders is trying to put the whole thing behind him.
This is what it is. I think of course it do childish. Of course I feel like it was a childish act, but everybody do childish things here and there.
Now, as for Deion's reaction, when TMZ caught up with him at the airport, he played it cool and acted like he wasn't fazed by the whole situation.
Hey, yo, mate. Hey, it's good to see you, man. Hey, now that the dust has settled, are you happy with how things turned out?
God bless you, man. You know how good God is.
I know God is good.
You know how good God is.
You happy, man?
God is so good.
Hey, do you forgive the prankster?
God is so good, man.
Okay, man. Thanks very much, buddy. We need hard knocks, bro. We need hard knocks.
But sources close to the Sanders.
But nobody that's supposed to have that number, but coaches and stuff like that, man, it kind of seem like it could be something personal there, man, for real though.
Sanders family are saying Deion is far from unbothered, and apparently he's going off behind closed doors and telling anyone that this is bigger than just bad luck or bad timing. And allegedly, he's convinced that the NFL owners sabotaged Shedeur on purpose. Sources close to Deion are saying that he believes this is all part of an effort to silence him, keep him in his lane, and remind him that no matter how good you are, you still have to play by the league's rules. Deion has now made a few cryptic statements on X, writing, "A lie don't care who tells it or repeats it. Its goal is to be heard. The truth could be standing right in front of you consistently for years, but you don't see it because a lie is in your mind. The truth may not be as popular as a lie, but the truth wins in the end." And then in a follow-up post, Deion added, "I can do better. I know better. I was taught better. I've seen better, and I'm definitely better. I'm also thankful for another opportunity to do what I'm blessed to do, and I won't take it for granted. Lord, create me a pure heart and renew the right spirit within me." But not everyone is buying into the conspiracy talk. A growing number of fans are saying this whole situation might have less to do with collusion and more to do with a lack of accountability. And one of the biggest red flags is Deion repeatedly talking about how his sons were going to bring him on as a head coach. And for a lot of NFL executives, this is obviously a problem. You've got a head coach dad and a QB son package deal, and neither of them seem too open about taking criticism. And that's not just risky, that's bad chemistry waiting to happen.
That's the plan. If that's not what you're trying to do, don't get me. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't get me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me.
Now, on the other hand, some fans are asking the hard question. What if teams simply didn't think Shedeur was a good fit? At the end of the day, this is the NFL. If you're truly a can't-miss superstar, teams will put up with a lot. So maybe it's not all about racism or collusion. Maybe it's about teams seeing a player who still has some growing to do, both on and off the field. But what's your take on all this? Is Deion right? Was this all a calculated move by NFL owners to humble the Sanders father and son? Is Shedeur being unfairly punished for his confidence and his father's fame? Or is this a classic case of hype not matching reality, and Deion might actually be hurting his son's chances more than helping? Leave your comments down below and stick around for this next.
Yeah, man, that's a fool with it, man. I ain't gonna lie though, I do think they a little kind of too arrogant, possibly, you know what I mean? And then them talking about if he get picked by a certain team, they gonna like reject, basically, you know what I'm saying? So some people probably didn't even want to just deal with that, even if they did want them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's kind of crazy though that the number got leaked though, and the only coaches were supposed to have that number, so that kind of make it seem like something personal to me, you know what I'm saying? Like if his number got leaked, there had to be other numbers on there. Why they ain't prank somebody else, you know what I mean? Oh, definitely was super embarrassing too, because you know he was anticipating that call from a coach or something, you know what I'm saying, to get drafted. So that was pretty cool right there. So yeah, man, I don't know, man. Y'all think he not good as the hype, or y'all think they got something against the Sanders, man? There's something going on. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Like, share, subscribe. You watching the Blackballed TV. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Until next time. All right.